March 5th, 2020. Why does that day stand out for you?
Yeah, it was a scary day. I was in front of a doctor in a doctor's office, and they were telling me that I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And at that point, I was shocked. I just didn't know what was going to happen. And I had 2 little kids, and I was like, can't be happening this to me. But I'm a woman of God, and I knew that God got my back.
You are here. Welcome to the podcast, Carolina, Stories from the River, the Carolina Reyes episode. So we've done a feature on our expert soiree, and I want to bring in some experts to just get back into the long form interview. So welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate the invitation.
It sounds like we're going to get real today, huh?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay, so let's do it.
Welcome to Stories from the River, a show in which we go behind the scenes at Broad River Retail.
You came in early this morning. You took the train.
I took the train. I didn't want to drive.
Okay, that's awesome. So you got to collect your thoughts and drive in, and the train left at what time this morning?
They left at 6:30 sharp.
6:30 sharp.
Mm-hmm.
And so then you got here. Well, thank you so much for getting early, taking the train, getting up to get to the train station, and taking the train on in to come to the studio and to share your unique story. Now, Carolina, let's talk a little bit about your personal background, and we'll get back to that story, that profound, moving story, because you've got just an inspirational story, and we're going to tell that. Tell us a little bit about you and your background and your career prior to joining the river.
So I am born and raised in Venezuela, and then I went to college. I graduated from industrial engineer in one of the best universities that we have in the country. Unfortunately, that Venezuela is not a good country to live anymore. There is no real good future. And then after I married my husband, which is also a memory maker,
Mm-hmm.
Jose, he works at the Oak City. We made the decision to come to this country, and we were very welcomed. And now we are U.S. citizens. As I feel like I'm as Venezuelan as a U.S. citizen, because I'm sharing both, and I'm very proud to be here. We start, as soon as we got here, then we start, finding jobs and try to start making money.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I started working in a dry cleaners, and my husband was working in a travel agency, and I was making $6.50 an hour,
Mm-hmm.
and he was making $9 an hour. With that kind of income, we bought our first house. And, after that, I started working in a furniture store, rent-to-own furniture store. And then I was like a sales assistant,
Mm-hmm.
sales. And then I got promoted after 5 years to be the store manager of that store. And I worked there for 5 years. And after that, I came to join you guys.
Wow. Okay.
And that was the best decision ever.
Okay, I love it. And we didn't put you up to that. Carolina, so how many years had you been married when you and Jose made the decision to move to the States?
We were married for 4 years.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But you didn't have children then?
We didn't have kids.
So you moved here, was it 2000?
Well, actually, no. We moved here 2006. So we were married 6 years.
Okay, wow.
We married in 2000.
Okay, but you had no children. You had your children in the States.
Yes.
Okay. And then you had this industrial engineer degree.
Right.
And you're working in Venezuela. By the way, my wife, we were talking off camera, she lived in Venezuela, Caracas, with her family, middle school through high school for like 6 years.
That's amazing.
Interesting connection. Yeah, they have great stories, and they love the food down there.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And so then you were working for $6.50 an hour, your husband $9 an hour. You guys figured out how to make it work, buy your first house, start a family. You went to work for a rent-to-own company, you moved up from sales to manager. It's great. And then eventually joined the river.
Absolutely.
How did you make it to Broad River Retail?
So in that rent-to-own company, there was another manager And then he joined you guys before. So he was talking to me about it. He's like, man, you have to come to Ashley. This is Broad River, DBA Ashley. You have to come here. You're gonna make way more money. It is different environment. And he was absolutely right.
Oh, that's great.
His name is Carlos.
Carlos, yeah, okay.
I remember when we set up the interview. Rick yeah,
Rush.
Yes. Yeah. He was the first one. I supposed to go to the Glenwood store, so he was the one that did the first interview.
Mm-hmm.
But then Kerry was recently open,
mm-hmm.
and then he called me and he's like, "Yeah, I think they need you more in Kerry, so we'll have to set up another interview."
Uh-huh.
So they set up the interview with Michael and Kevin.
Okay.
They were both running at that time. So I remember that interview like it was yesterday.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. And you joined Kerry. When did you join?
I was hired like on my first day was June 26, 2018.
June 26, 2018. And then you talked your husband into joining Broad River?
Absolutely. When I was like, okay, yeah, this is a big deal. Let's go.
And he joined when?
He joined in October 2019.
And is he still the same store that he was in then?
Yes.
Okay.
He hasn't changed store. He loved Capital and I don't think he will move.
He's at Oak City.
Yep.
And he's in sales as well.
Oh yeah, he's a professional now.
Now, yeah. But he's not an expert like you.
He's gone his way.
He's on his way. He's on his way. Do you guys compete with your numbers and everything?
No, not really.
Okay. I got it. That's so cool. All right. Thank you for walking us through that. So let's go through. So now you're at Broad River. You joined Kerry in June 26, 2018, and then you got promoted to go open a new store. Is that correct?
Right.
Okay. Tell us about that.
I worked like 6 months in Kerry, and man, everybody was super excited about me because I was killing it with the VIP.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then everybody was, fill this out. So everybody was doing it. And Kevin was like, man, we are about to open a store. Would you like to help me open that store, being your sales manager, VIP? So I was like, yeah, of course. Okay. And then, in June 2019, I went open that store. Stay there for 3 months. And
that was the Wilson store.
The Wilson store, right. So the opening manager was Ray.
Ray, yeah,
mm-hmm.
yeah.
And we got a great team. But I got to transfer back to Kerry.
Okay.
So I transferred back to Kerry in October that same year. We kind of opened the store, leave it situated, and then went back to Kerry. And then I stayed in Kerry until June 2020 that I joined opening The Rock.
When you went back to Kerry, you were no longer a sales manager, is that correct?
Right.
Okay. But were you a home furnishings consultant at that time?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When did you get promoted to a home furnishings professional?
When I was at The Rock, 2021 probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then now you're a home furnishings expert.
Right.
And when you went back to The Rock, at some point you got promoted as a sales manager again, correct?
Right.
When was that?
That was in end of 2021.
Okay. So you go back as a consultant, you get promoted to a professional, you get promoted to a sales manager, and then you became an expert and a sales manager. When did you become an expert?
In January this year.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then when did sales really begin to click for you? Was it like right away because you'd been in sales, right? So did you was it in your previous role when sales clicked for you?
Right, but it was not a commission sales.
Okay.
So it was a little bit different. I kind of have, the customer service experience, having all that. We used to sell Ashley product in that store, so I kind of knew your product already. But yeah, it kind of like, well, oh my God, it was a way different. Mm-hmm. Like the way that you treat the customers mm-hmm. in this type of stores is completely different of the way that you treat the customers in the rent-to-own stores.
In a better way, or just how's it way
I
different?
would say it's a better way. Mm-hmm. It's not that we don't treat good to the customers in the rent-to-own company. They just come to the store and tell you, hey, I want this.
Okay.
So
you do more
kind
discovery.
of like more, yeah. Here, you kind of like have to dip a little bit
mm-hmm.
to especially, like know what their needs,
I got you.
because it's rarely the customers comes to your doors and tell you, hey, I want this.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to figure that out. And in that rent-to-own company, we didn't have that.
Yeah, got it.
They knew what they wanted. They just want to do it and go.
Yeah, so you're like kind of just processing the sale versus
Right, exactly.
understanding the art of sales.
Right.
Got it. Hey, do you remember so you've said June 26th, 2018. So that day is it vividly, and you said you remember your first interview for the Carey store. Do you remember your first day at Broad River?
Absolutely. Okay. I remember that like it was yesterday.
Tell us what you remember about that day.
I remember everything. Like I remember how nervous I was, because even Carlos was telling me that this is a completely different environment. You will love it. I was not really sure. Changes are not always like comfortable. And then I was getting out of my comfort zone, and I didn't know what I'm going to expect, especially with commission sales. Mm-hmm. You'll be like, oh, what is going to happen? Mm-hmm. But yeah, that day I came in, Michael called me the day before, and he said, hey, this is going to be your work schedule. You're going to be off for now Wednesdays and Sundays, and I'll see you tomorrow at 9:00. And I said, okay, cool. And he's like, make sure you come through the side door. You cannot use the front door.
That's funny.
I didn't understand why until later, but yeah, I came, and then, I gave him all the paperwork that he needed, and everybody was so welcoming. I remember Carmen. She's no longer with us, but she was amazing. She's like, come here. She's a Puerto Rican lady. She's so funny. And then she's like, come here, let me show you the store. And she showed me everything in the store, with the break room, the bathrooms, the furniture, how I read the tags. Like, she gave me the whole tour in like 30 minutes.
That's great.
And I was like, oh, wow, this is amazing. And then, Michael set up my computer to make sure I do the training. Mm-hmm. And it was time for me to go to lunch. And I was like, well, I'm just going to lunch. And he's like, yeah, we got your first lunch. And I was like, what?
Well, they really wowed you your first day. That's great. He was all prepared for you the day before.
And then, she, the REM was Stephanie, and she's like, yeah, let's go. And she took me she said, like, whatever you want to eat today, we got you. I'm like, oh, wow, this is.
Where'd they take you?
We were, in Carey, we were pretty close to a lot of restaurants. Yeah. So I took the hibachi food.
That's great.
And I was like, oh, wow, this is, So that day when I left, I like this.
Got you. So that was a little bit over 5 years ago now.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you've talked, so you've been in Carey, then Wilson, and now The Rock, Four Oaks for over 3 years now.
Right.
And now you're at the top of your game. You're a home furnishings expert. You're also a sales manager of Sleep, correct?
Right.
And you previously at Wilson were a sales manager in VIP. Okay. Now, how important do you think the career path is for our retail performance sales force? Not everyone has, and this is one of the things I want to talk about bringing in our experts here. Like, not everyone has an expert program. They just have an RSA program. So having career pathing and promotions at retail, what does that mean?
Well, it means a lot. It means that you are not just working for your paycheck, you're also working for a career. And then, like you said, now I'm a sales manager and I'm expert. I have other benefits, and I definitely enjoy it.
Yeah.
Like I work really hard because I went every step of the way to get what I'm.
You sure did. Here. And what are some of your favorite perks about being an expert?
The PTO paid out.
We get that a lot. Yeah. Okay. So you've been $1 million writer, or as we like to refer to it, $1 million memory maker. How many years now?
2.
2 years.
On my way to number 3.
On your way to number 3.
Yep.
And you've been an expert since January of this year.
Right.
Okay. Is it more difficult to be an expert than $1 million writer?
Yes.
And why is that?
Yes, because, now you have that word expert, so you know everything. Okay. You have to know everything.
Yeah.
And yes.
And I see you've got your expert lapel pin, your expert pullover. You're decked out in your expert.
I'm very proud of this.
I love it. Okay, so as someone who's now on her 3rd year of being $1 million writer or $1 million memory maker, what has led to your consistency and success year over year?
First, I stick with the process. Like, this is very important. Like, this is not my way. This has been very well studied, and you know, the leadership know what it works and what don't work. So the process work, and that's when I'm stick to it.
Okay, great.
Also, I do run my business. This is my business. So I don't depend only on my people coming through the doors. I do depend on my people that I follow up with, and you know, make a connection, make a continue.
Well, that's so important, like, to say that you treat it like your own business, because, you know, if you think about the number of businesses in America that do even $1 million a year in sales, it's not that many. It's actually, and so if you say, yeah, I've got $1 million business and I'm running it, you've got ownership over your book of business. So I think that's a great point. Well, how have you, so you've improved your sales performance year over year. How so?
Well, it's, you know, the consistency is there. It's just following up with my customers, making sure everybody's happy with their product, taking ownership of what, you know, if we do something wrong, we'll fix it. And yeah, that's exactly how we do it. How I do it.
I'm sure at excelling at VIP, you get a lot of repeat customers too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And build your business off of, hey, I want to come back and see Carolina, right? For the next project.
Yeah. And calling your customer after they get the delivery just to make sure they're happy. Maybe they didn't decide to add the table when they purchased their living room, but now they're ready, you know, and then know their information a little bit more, like they know if they have kids, you know, like I had a customer the other day, and he told me he was going to have a surgery on his arm. The elbow needs to be some fix or whatever, but then I called him 3 days after the surgery just to find out how he was.
That's great.
And I'm pretty sure he was shocked about it, because nobody else do that.
Yeah. So that makes a difference.
Yeah.
Well, how do you keep yourself motivated? Are you goal oriented?
I'm motivated. My kids.
Yeah.
That's my biggest motivation.
Okay.
Well, my kids, obviously my husband, I want to make them proud of me, and my mom and my dad.
Yeah. And do you get to call your mom and dad back?
My mom is here.
Okay.
My dad is still in Venezuela.
Okay.
We are in the process for him to move here, but it's still process to go.
And at every chance you get promoted, do you call and say, hey,
of course.
and when you hit the $1 million mark, what'd they say?
Oh yeah, they're very happy. They congratulate me. They're very proud, I think.
That's fantastic. So what do you think differentiates your level of performance from others in retail sales for us?
The hustle. Being hungry. That is definitely a point. Like, you have to be hungry of sales. Like, if you are on commission sales, you can just go be there for 8 hours, 9 hours, whatever, and then go home and be happy with your performance. Like, losing for me is not an option. Having a 0 day is devastating. I don't want to do that ever. It happens. It happened, but I'm not happy about it, and I'm gonna do something about that. So
I love it.
Yeah.
So I love it. It's like Les Brown. You got to be hungry.
Right. You have to be hungry, and you have to hustle.
I love it. So we also love our jackpot bonuses.
Oh yeah.
and for superior achievements, and how much do you believe those jackpot prizes motivate our retail gladiators like you to keep their eyes on the prize?
Oh, I'm sure they if they are money motivators, then yes, it will do a lot. Yeah. And now we have the new VIP.
Yeah.
I'm on my way there.
You got it? Okay. And it's just another jackpot bonus?
Another jackpot.
Okay. So our organizational purpose is furnishing life's best memories. What has been one of your best memories thus far at the river?
I have a lot of best memories, like a lot. But this particular one have something to do with you.
Well, okay. What is that?
I was going, I got diagnosed with breast cancer. Obviously, I have to go through all the treatments. And then I was going through the chemotherapy treatments. That made me sick. not terrible sick, but I was kind of sick. And I remember one day I asked Mike, I need that you help me to find a nice price adjustable base because I know that's gonna help me with my sickness. So he's like, yeah, I got you, absolutely. We're gonna find you a nice price. So I was like, yeah, I mean, I got some money. I don't have the full amount of money to buy that. And then he's like, okay. Then couple hours. That was on a Saturday. Then on Monday morning, I was like, Mike, I really need that because tomorrow I have my chemo. And he's like, yeah, don't worry about it. I told you I'm going to find one. When I find it, I'll tell you. And I said, okay. So that day passed. Then Tuesday morning, I was in the chair doing my chemo and look through my phone. I see an email coming from Ashley. And when I open the email, it is a receipt for an adjustable base with zero amount. And I was like, what? Oh my gosh. So I called Michael and said, Mike, I told you I was going to buy it. And then he's like, oh, they didn't supposed to send you the invoice. That was a surprise.
I didn't know that.
That was a surprise. But yeah, I said, Mike, I really, like, come on now. Thank you. Like, I couldn't. And he's like, look, my original idea was to kind of collect money from people to buy it. But then when I talked to Charlie about it, he's like, absolutely not. We're just going to give it to her.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was definitely. And then that afternoon, Michael, Kevin, and Rob came to my house to set up the adjustable base.
That's awesome. Well, let's talk about, so March 2020 was difficult for a lot of people, but you got this diagnosis of breast cancer. And so then when did you start the treatments?
So I started like right away. Like we find out March, and then in April was my surgery. Like the same March, I went to the oncologist and she told me what the options I had. So I picked out the lumpectomy, and then April 16 was my surgery.
Okay, so
and in May I started the chemo.
Wow.
May, June, July, August, and September, and then I started October and November the radiation.
Okay, and did you work during this time?
Absolutely.
Wow. So you furloughed, right, to have your surgery, and so while we're going through COVID, you're going through this surgery and this major traumatic event yourself, which had to have been scary, going to the hospitals while people were wearing face masks. And so when did you come back?
So I came back in May. Yeah, I came back in May to work in the Cary location. But then we were opening Fort Oaks.
Yeah.
And then Michael was recruiting kind of 2 or 3 people to go with him to open that store.
Okay.
And then he told me, like, could you open that? And I'm like, oh, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's open it. And then I remember one day I was sitting in the podium on the on the podium to greet the customers. And I told Michael, I said, Mike, I want to be recognized, to be the first, like being this the first month of the store being open, I want to be recognized to the top writer. And he told me, like, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
This was in 2020.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And I kid you not, I grew that month when I was going through chemo, 125,000.
Wow. Was that your biggest month at that time?
Probably.
Yeah. So you're going through this. I mean, you're going through chemotherapy, but you're showing up at work, regardless of how you were feeling, and just getting it done. What a testament! What a testimony there.
I'm just telling you, the mentality in this business is everything in your life. Mentality in your life is just everything.
I love it. So I was going to ask you, since you've been a memory maker here at the River, what is something that you've learned about yourself or about what you've been able to accomplish that has surprised even you? But maybe it's this. Or did the way you overcame and worked and thrived in spite of it surprise you?
Yes, and I want that to be an inspiration for other people.
Yeah.
That because and especially young Younger people, they're like, oh, this happens to me, that I can't get out of this. No, there is always a way out.
Yeah.
If you trust God enough, and then you got beautiful people around you, you will get out.
I love it. Did you expect to achieve this level of success with Broad River?
No, not really. Just sell, and make, the commission, but that was it. And this point where I am now, it is,
Do you think something lit a fire in 2020 when you're saying, I want to be the top sales, you had something to prove and to kind of, is that when it kind of lit up for you?
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. Wow. And so let's shift gears to the Memory Maker Awards Gala for a little bit. You attended your first gala. I don't know how to say it, gala or gala. You attended your first one at Bank of America Stadium back when we brought it back in person this past January, correct?
Right.
And what do you remember about it? What was your experience?
So I'm going to tell you that last gala before it was on 2019 in person.
In January 2020. Yeah.
No, in the January 2020.
That's
right.
Yeah. For 2019.
Before, right. Yeah. And then I remember I was in Cary, but then everybody left, like not everybody, but Michael and the managers and whoever have to go, they went to the gala, and like, I want to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to go there. So the first year that I hit the million, we couldn't go because we didn't have a person gala. But then, this past gala was amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, that the environment, being surrounded with so many talented people, and it is just a great way to feel appreciated.
Yeah, and you're proud to be one of them, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So then we had the Home Furnishings Expert Soiree recently, just a couple of weeks ago, I think.
Yes, that definitely shocked me. Like, oh my God, because that is one more proof that this company care about their people. We are not just a number. So
now at the gala, did you come by yourself at the gala?
No, I went with my husband. He was $1 million
so
too.
you're both, and then because I saw you both at the soiree a couple weeks ago.
Right.
So, and so just tell me about your experience. Like, where do you sit? What? Tell me about the food experience and just being celebrated and recognized. I mean, this was an important mid-year event.
Yes, definitely. Like I'm saying, I mean, I feel very appreciated. That is something that as a company you don't have to do.
Yeah.
But you do it because you appreciate your people and you want people to be successful, to keep doing what they're doing. And oh my God, the food was amazing.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Too much.
Too much food, but it was amazing.
You didn't go to the soiree last year.
Right.
Did you hear about it?
No.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I heard that it was a big, nice dinner or whatever, but no.
Yeah. So now if you told someone like, what's the soiree about? Would you say, no, you have to go?
Absolutely. You have to work for that because you have to go.
That's awesome. Carolina, how important is goal setting?
Very important.
Okay.
If you don't know where you're going, then you don't have a path.
Yeah.
So it's very hard for you to achieve things in your life.
I agree.
You have to know where you're going.
Yeah.
And that way you get directions.
Yeah, it's like the GPS
it's a
coordinates.
Purpose. You just live without purpose, and that's not.
You drift if you don't have them. Okay. Right. So what are your goals for 2023?
My goals for 2023 is being over what I was last year.
Okay.
I want to beat myself.
and this is a tougher year too.
Yes.
So you want to beat last year's version of you, in spite of a tougher economic year.
Right.
Okay.
And then inspire people.
Yeah.
That's my main goal. Make other people around me successful as well.
I love it.
As a manager and as a leader, I want to make my people. Like last year, we only have $2 million writers. It looks like this year we will have 3 or 4.
Okay.
So I think that's a.
Love it. I love it. We love that. Paying it forward.
Yeah.
Okay. I've got a quick get to know Carolina Reyes at her core icebreaker question for you. When you think about your legacy and how you'd like others to think of you, what 3 words come to mind that you'd like them to say to describe you?
I would like them to say positive
Positive.
attitude,
Okay.
positive attitude, and hard worker,
Uh-huh.
and I'm not sure, like care about people.
Okay.
I do care a lot.
Caring,
Caring.
positive, hardworking. You could even say inspiring, overcoming.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay. So I know that it always takes a village to achieve phenomenal success like you've achieved. Who are some of the unsung heroes of your world, and what do they do to help you?
God, a lot.
Okay.
I think I have a lot of inside heroes. Starting, well, he's no longer with the company, but he definitely was my mentor. It's Michael.
Yeah.
And
He's been on the podcast too.
yes.
Yeah.
Michael, he was my mentor.
Mm-hmm.
And Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
Josh.
Yeah. Yeah.
I worked with Josh for a couple months and I learned a lot
Mm-hmm.
about him. Bradley.
Mm-hmm.
Sam.
Yeah.
Sam.
Yeah.
Sam is very inspirational. Oh my gosh, she's a beast. She knows everything.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. And Randy.
Mm-hmm.
Randy Shepard, who is not longer with us either, but yeah.
So you've had some great managers who've come in and just been great mentors and helped you. And,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, we have Stacy and
Mm-hmm.
and Carl and Chris and
Mm-hmm.
Bobby and yeah.
And you talk about the process and sticking to the process, and that we've added to the process this year with like Draw the Room. And how have you been able to embrace or adopt DTR?
Yeah. So basically, it's just putting in paper because I was doing it already,
Mm-hmm.
like mentally. Like when the customer tells me, "Hey, yes, I like this," and then we were like, "Okay, well, do you want to add this or this or
Mm-hmm.
But it's not the same when you put it in paper and the
Mm-hmm.
customer is seeing it.
Got it.
So yeah, it's definitely helping. We were implementing processes. We did the 3X first,
Yeah.
and then we go to the DTR. The 3X, I'm telling you, is my best friend.
I love it.
I love it. It's the best thing ever. And now that we are in the DTR, yes, it is very helpful.
Love it. Stacy will like hearing what you just said there too. Okay.
I got you, Stacy.
Yeah, that's right. Last year, our company's word of the year was thrive, and you certainly thrived in 2022. Now you're talking about beating last year's version of yourself. So this year, our company's word of the year is elevate. That's right. So what does it mean for you to elevate?
It means that go beyond, like go the extra mile. That's elevate. Like elevate your service, elevate your drive, the way that you do. You just don't come to work just to work.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it means.
Josh likes to say, you don't go to easy, you go to work.
Right. Yeah.
What advice would you offer up to a fellow memory maker, to help him or her elevate his or her performance?
Well, like I'm saying, stick with the process, but on top of that, take ownership of your business.
Yeah.
Like this is the most important thing. Like take care of your customers, and they will take care of you.
Got it. What's the best advice you've ever received?
Being hungry.
Yeah, being hungry.
Always be hungry and hustle.
Okay. So what do you, and are those the critical qualities or characteristics that most contribute to success on the sales floor? Or is it being hungry, owning your business, or following the process, or all of them?
All of them.
Okay.
Yeah, it can be just one thing. Oh, well, I'm doing this. I'm not doing everything else. It's a process for everything that makes that the little details will make a whole success process.
Got it. Mm-hmm. If you've been with us for over 5 years now, if you could go back to your first day, what would you tell your younger self about what life is going to be like at the river?
Obviously, I didn't know that, I could make that much money. But yeah, I could say like, hey, stay here. You're going to make a lot of money.
That's good. Okay, we'll take it. So I know we're biased, but we believe that our culture at the river is unique and really special. What is your favorite thing about our culture? You've shared a lot here, but what is your favorite thing about our culture here? And in your opinion, what is it that makes our culture special?
That you generally care about the people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not, like I'm saying, I mean, it's really hard. Obviously, this is a business. We have to achieve certain numbers, but your people is not your numbers.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm like. This culture in this organization is just about people.
Yeah.
You guys care about your people. You understand that your major asset is your people.
That's right. And even stores aren't just a number. Carry Crushers, Wilson Warriors, The Rock.
Yeah.
So I like to have fun with it. So you mentioned, several others. Who have been some of the memorable rock stars who you've worked with during your time at the river?
Well, I work with a lot of great people. I love working with Osvaldo. We are from the same country, so we had so much fun working together. Now at the Rock, I love all my team. I think we are a really good family. Laura, Natalia, Will, and Kaylin, Mercedes joined us recently. So yeah, they're all I don't want to leave anybody out, but we all
love it.
We are a really good family. Bobby's a great leader, and I think we are getting the team together.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we have some ups and downs, but we're getting there.
Love to see it. And you talked about some of your customer memories. Do you have a favorite customer story or memory that you'd like to share?
Yes, actually, I saw him on Sunday. He came to the store. It's funny because every time that he's buying, he's like, I always promise myself that I don't need nothing else, but then here you are. you're let me buy something. And then he's a very nice guy. He's retired from the army, but he has prostate cancer. So we were, talking about radiation and everything. He's doing really well. And I kind of feel, emphasis, the sympathy with him about, sharing that. But yeah, he's always come and buy something. I was checking on his life, the system tells you how much he have bought, and he's like 29,000 already. Wow. So
he loves coming to shop with you. That's great. Okay, what is one thing about Broad River that you think would surprise other people from the outside looking in?
Well, first, the commission structure I know is a little bit different from other furniture stores that do commissions. So that will surprise. And on top of the jack bonus, they don't have that. And the way that you treat people, you just because you are the owner of the company, here we are talking like two normal persons.
Well, we are hopefully two normal people. What is something about you that would surprise your fellow memory makers?
Something about me that will surprise them?
I know you're a little bit of an open book, so you don't hold anything back, but what do you think would surprise your fellow memory makers about you?
I'm not sure. I mean, I think it will surprise them if I one day say, hey, I'm quitting. I don't want to be here no more. I'm leaving. Like, I'm not that type of person.
I got you.
And, or I just don't want to do my job no more.
Yeah.
That will definitely surprise them because they know I'm there.
You know what I think would surprise them? They probably look at you and say, "Oh, she's so nice and sweet," but they don't know there's like a killer behind. Like right. you're going to win. You're relentless. You've got this amazing grit and resiliency and drive and hustle about you. So that's probably what would surprise them.
Yeah, I told Bobby this past holiday weekend that I was going to be a shark.
Yeah, I believe it.
Okay.
Yeah, I love it.
You got it.
A nice shark.
A nice shark.
So mentorship is so important. And you talked about, some of the mentors you've had, with Michael and Kevin and now Bobby and Chris and Stacy. And where or from whom do you receive your mentorship?
From my dad.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Okay. And has he always been a great mentor to you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And how often do you speak with your dad?
Every day.
Every day.
He's in Venezuela, but we speak every day.
I love that.
Every day he texts me in the morning. Hello, good morning. Is everything okay? I hope you have a great day. I love you.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Did you have a big family growing up?
No, actually my mom and my dad was divorced when I was 10.
Okay.
So he married and then he have two girls, but I didn't get to grow with them.
Okay, gotcha.
And it was a little bit complicated.
Yeah.
Now my little sister is here,
Okay.
and my middle sister is still there
Yeah.
with my dad and his wife.
Well, I got you. I love that relationship with your dad and the daily
But yeah,
inspiration.
we speak daily, and I talk to my sister almost daily as well.
That's awesome. What are your best daily habits and routines, and how do they impact your performance?
My main habit is pray.
Okay.
I pray every day,
Okay.
every time that I can.
Really?
Yes.
Throughout the day, not just
Throughout
like.
not just in the morning, not just at night,
Yeah.
throughout the day.
Okay.
And I told you I'm a woman of God, and I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason, and God got your back all the time. So yeah.
And so you've just experienced the power of prayer throughout your life.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
For sure.
So you talked about this earlier. You talked to us about mindset and how you think about setting up your day, overcoming objections, dealing with service issues. I mean, things don't always go right, customer complaints, rejection. Like, talk about how you protect your mindset in spite of adversity that might come up.
Well, because the home run from yesterday will not win the game today. So what happened. So that's why you have to understand. You have a situation, you solve the situation, you move on. That's it.
Yeah.
You can make that affect your day just because that situation happened. And always a solution. And most of the time, customers come to the store complaining about something, they end up buying something else.
So you take a complaint and you're buying from you. I love that. Has your success been based off of, how much has it been based off of luck or good fortune versus hard work and skill?
I don't think it's luck. I think it's definitely hard working. And because I'm not going just to sit on the chair waiting for a luck come and give me, hey, write this $20,000 ticket. You know, I mean, I think it takes a lot of hard work to do that. And you have to know your customer. You have to listen to your customers. And even if you are not agree with your customers, you can help them and make it work.
Well, you're going to pray every day, but you're not going to pray for a miracle and just like be lazy. You're going to pick up your shovel and go to work every day.
There is no other option.
Yeah, no other option.
I haven't won the lottery yet.
Yeah, that's right. And even if you did, I bet you'd still
work. Absolutely.
Yeah. If you could change one thing about the company today with the wave of a magic wand, what would it be?
Maybe the schedule, like the weekend schedule.
The weekend schedule?
Yes.
Okay.
That will probably be something that I might work.
In working like less?
Probably like a rotation.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a great idea. And so let's say that I decided to retire. I won the lottery and I gave you the keys to the company. Okay. You're the new president and CEO of Broad River Retail. Congratulations on this promotion.
Oh, thank you.
And today's your first day in the new role. What would be your first order of business?
Oh, I will definitely call all my leaders and be in a round table. And I want to see numbers and I want to know where we at. And I want to know where we're going.
I love it. You've already got it figured out. Where are we now and where are we going?
Yep.
You got to have it worked out. Okay.
I got a plan.
That's right. And it's not the plan, it's the process of planning, which it seems like you've got nailed down. Learning. So how do you sharpen your saw? What do you do to improve your skill set?
Educating.
Okay.
I believe educating myself is very important.
Okay.
And I want to know more about the products, more about the process, more about everything that I can. So I can teach other people.
I love that. And what do you read? Are you currently reading a book or anything like that?
I'm not currently reading a book.
Okay. And what about podcasts? Do you listen to podcasts?
I do.
Okay. Which ones, besides, other than this
Yours.
one, of course? Yeah. What other ones, what are some of your favorite podcasts?
Well, I wasn't listening to podcasts lately until we talk about this. I was like, well, let me listen to this, and I kind of like it.
Yeah, I love podcasts.
So
it's great.
I definitely will get more into it.
Love it. And so, do you watch television shows?
No, I don't watch television.
No television.
No.
You just hang out with. So, what do you do for fun when you're not working for the day, and you have some time for yourself or for your family?
We always running around, errands.
Okay.
I have 2 teenagers, so they always has a need. Abraham plays soccer, So there is always practice or games,
Mhm.
and and then Catherine needs to buy this or that, or do this, do that. So yeah, or cleaning the house,
Yeah.
doing
You're,
laundry. So
you're being a mom, you're being a wife, it's
mom,
a
a wife,
family.
yeah.
Love it.
So and I do enjoy it.
I got one last question for you. To someone who is not a memory maker and is thinking of coming to the river, what advice would you offer to that person?
I will tell them, do not be afraid to work in a commission sales job.
Okay.
Trust yourself,
Mhm.
be confident, run your business, and you will be super successful.
Okay. Love it. Before I let you off the hot seat here, I did ask some of your fellow coworkers and memory makers about you if they had any words they wanted to say. So would you mind if I read a few?
Of course, I would like to know.
All right. This is from Carl.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Memory makers like Carolina are what make our culture so special. How can you not smile when you are around Carolina? She constantly and continually raises the level of joy wherever she goes. Her team loves her, her customers adore her, and I always get the sense of greatness being around her. As a sales manager expert, Carolina continues to raise the bar of excellence in all that she does. Thank you, Carolina, for all you do, known and unknown, to furnish life's best memories.
Oh, that's super sweet.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's keep going.
Okay.
This is from Bobby.
Oh.
She is first and foremost an amazing person with an enormous heart. She is committed and driven to be her best daily, family focused. She is proud to be a memory maker and an expert.
Mm-hmm.
When given the opportunity, she always speaks highly of our organization. Dependable and trustworthy, mentor, leader, and role model. She makes our rock team better. And that's with a lot of exclamation points. I am honored to have Carolina on my team, and I look forward to working with her and helping her continue to reach new heights and grow with Broad River.
Nice.
Yeah. So this next one's from Heather. Okay, you ready?
Yes.
I still remember the day I met Carolina in Retail 101. Over the years, since that very first day, Carolina has continued to share her goals and ambitions with me. She came here to do great things, and I have watched her crush every single goal she has set. I've been able to celebrate her achieving expert status, celebrating her $1 million moments with her, and enjoying her company at events like Sleep Summit and $1 Million Memory Maker RX. Every time I see her, it is filled with pure goodness. I look forward to seeing her, being in her presence, and connecting with her on life. She is consistent, focused, patient, and caring. She treats her guests and her coworkers like they are her family, and that makes a difference. Carolina is one of the kindest people you will meet.
Oh, thank you. I
Now-
love that.
Now, I also reached out to a couple others.
Okay.
This is from Michael.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. Carolina Reyes is one of the most special people I know. Her drive is unmatched, and I've been so inspired by her. She's had some moments in her life that definitely highlighted what she was made of for the world to see. While I hurt for her through those times, it was great to see the world around her recognize how strong she truly is. I'm motivated by her as a fellow competitor, respect her like a big sister, and love her like my family. Isn't that beautiful?
It is beautiful.
Okay, just two more.
Yeah, he's my little brother.
Okay, this is from head coach, Coach Stacy.
Oh, wow.
When I think of it, when I think of her, it makes me smile. She is an inspiration to me. Beat cancer and rarely missed a day. She became a sales manager, became $1 million memory maker, became an expert. I love that she is excited to share her life's best memories with me. It warms my soul. She warms my soul. And just recently, she sent me a picture with her first brand new car. So amazing. She is what happens when someone embraces the opportunities provided.
Yep.
All right, last one here from Kevin Kinman.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. He texted this to me this morning. How or where do I start? I'll start on purpose and determination. I am forever grateful to have witnessed Carolina's most trying time in her life, her battle for life, her battle against cancer. It's hard to explain or put words to it, but during this most difficult time in her life, we were watching a determined woman fight for her life. We as a team and work family gave her all the love and support we could and knew how to give. Carolina, in return, gave it right back to all of us in abundance. What a show of spiritual determination and of sheer physical performance. I am not around to witness sales performance any longer, but I was there at that time to watch Carolina Reyes have an amazing performance in all areas of her life. Her sales performance was a real standout all-star performance. Number one, most importantly, she knocked out and defeated her battle with cancer in the most courageous ways I have ever seen in my life. And she was a shining example for all of us who were there to see it and cheer her on. I knew she would say we or her team gave her strength, which I imagine we did, but it was Carolina who battled this disease and put up the fight of her life, all the while performing at her absolute best and posting on the scoreboards an amazing sales performance. She would tell you her sales performance was a driver of focus while she was in this fight. Mm-hmm. It was an incredible moment in time when David, Carolina, defeated Goliath in the here and now for everyone she knew to see and witness. I will never forget what I saw with my own eyes. #Reyes Strong, which the shirts.
Yeah, the shirts. Uh-huh.
I couldn't imagine life without knowing her. Carolina, we love you. Isn't that beautiful?
Oh, that is so pretty. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Carolina, is there anything else you'd like to share or say?
Oh my God, that I love y'all.
Well,
I love y'all like from the bottom of my heart. I'm very thankful to be here. I'm very grateful for every single one of you.
Well, we love you too. Thank you so much for taking the train, making the trip down here to be on the podcast, Stories from the River.
I love that.
Hey, we try to bring you fresh new content every single week. Stories from our memory makers, from our experts. Listen on Apple, Google, Spotify, Amazon, or on YouTube. To check it out. And we try to bring you fresh new content every single week. Carolina, thank you so much.
Thank you, Charlie.
Hey, let's finish strong. #Reyes Strong.
Reyes Strong.
Let's go. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Stories from the River. To check out more episodes, visit storiesfromtheriver.com. Join us again next week, and remember to like, rate, and subscribe to the podcast.